Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Ayna, the mirror to the world. We'll be traveling together to another country today to share interesting scenes from another part of the world. So if you're ready, come join the Ayna team as we explore Russia. We're in the old capital. This is St. Petersburg, which has served as the capital of the Russian Empire for more than 2 centuries. Many authors, poets, and composers have been inspired by the city, such as Tchaikovsky, Gogol, and Dostoevsky. Today, the population of St. Petersburg is about 4.5 million people. This historical city was founded by Tsar Peter the Great in May of 1703 as a window to Europe. Although it is a classic Russian city, it still looks pretty much European, and the people living here are considered to be the most intellectual people in all of Russia. Our first stop will be St. Isaac's Cathedral. We're climbing up the stairs towards the visitors center of the cathedral. We're in the dome of St. Isaac's Cathedral. I'd say that this is one of the highest buildings in all of St. Petersburg. It's about 320 feet high here. And you can see the beautiful view of the city skyline from the dome of this historical building. There is a spectacular view of the city from the dome of the cathedral. Since the city looks so beautiful from the dome, it's a very popular attraction, and sometimes you may have a hard time moving around because it is so crowded. Naturally, people like to take this beautiful scene home with them, with pictures and videos. St. Petersburg hasn't always been known as St. Petersburg. It's gone through many changes in its history. In 1917, St. Petersburg's name was changed and the people started to use the name Petrograd for the city. After Lenin died in 1924, the city was named after him and was known as Leningrad for almost 70 years. After the collapse of the Soviet Union on June 12, 1991, the majority of the population decided to restore the original name, St. Petersburg, on September 6, 1991. Now we are at the Peter and Paul Cathedral. The first establishment of the city began right here on this island. Yes, this is actually an island. When it was first founded, the city was so small that it fit on a small piece of land. Of course, it grew bigger and bigger year after year. And there's a building behind me where they kept the Tomb of the Tsars. Like I said, this building is the Peter and Paul Cathedral. At 400 feet, this is the tallest building in St. Petersburg by specific order of Tsar Peter the Great. The order was not to build any other building higher than this one. Since they still have respect for Peter the Great, no one has built anything taller since that day. Today, this building is still used as a church, especially for important ceremonies. The tombs of the Tsars are now open to visitors. Along with Peter the Great and Catherine the Great, you can see other Tsars' tombs here. Some of the children of the Tsars are also buried in this church. In total, there are 34 tombs. Since there are 93 rivers and more than 100 lakes in the city, it's not surprising that we find 342 bridges throughout St. Petersburg. As you see, rivers and bridges are everywhere. That's why the city of St. Petersburg is also known as the City of Bridges. 2 of them are drawbridges. We're standing on one of those bridges over the Neva River. The Neva River is one of the smallest rivers of Europe. The length of the river is only 45 miles. Hermitage Palace, which is a wonderful museum now, is a favorite attraction in St. Petersburg. Every year, about 3.5 million tourists visit this palace. Hermitage was the winter palace of the Tsars. The Russians are very proud of this palace. This was Empress Catherine II's phaeton. While you're walking in the palace, you feel the historical power and elegance throughout every section. This throne belonged to Peter the Great. There are many famous paintings in this palace as well. Some of the paintings of Leonardo da Vinci and Picasso decorate the walls of this great palace. Long ago, no one was allowed in the palace except for the Tsars and their families. But today, the doors are now open to the general public. The doors of Hermitage open to a huge square. On sunny days, thousands of people walk through here and enjoy the weather and the wide, colorful square.
Очень хорошо. Очень хорошо. Очень хорошо. Я очень рад с вами познакомиться. Я тоже очень рад.
I'm in front of the Hermitage Palace. People call this the Palace Square. And while I was walking here, I went through a time tunnel and met the Empress Catherine and Peter the Great. As you can see, they're decked out in the latest 18th century fashion. Your Excellency, how are you? You're doing all right? Give me some skin. Nice to meet you, Peter. With my poor Russian, I tried to communicate with Peter the Great. I was just trying to ask him what he was doing here. I think he said that they're here for a show and to take pictures with the tourists. You look really great, ma'am.
Очень хорошо.
Honestly, you don't get to see people from the 18th century very often, so I just don't want to miss the chance to take a picture with them too. I am so honored to be among you, Your Excellencies. Thank you very much for this wonderful trip through time. Yes.